So they were nice, they waved and everything. I didn't want to intrude on their territory, you know, but I have been amazed by people who skateboard. I watched them, like there were a couple times I would come up here to watch, and there's this like innate, or even down at City Hall in Love Park when they used to be able to go to Love Park, and there's this innate communication that goes on that's unspoken, and they sort of knew like this person's going to take a turn, or that, like they didn't have to speak out loud, and I really appreciated that. Like I was like, I kind of understood that, because for many years I didn't speak that much. I was a very quiet person. So in fact, my speaking today comes at a much older age. My vocal cords actually were exercised during, say, like 2013, 14, 15, and I actually could feel my muscles building because I didn't talk at all. So, but in a way, you know, skateboarding is like an expression, a way to express oneself, you know, for people with certain types of brains and, you know, desires or what have you. So, whatever. So that's that. We are walking south along the Schuylkill River at this point. A boat went by because I can see ripples in the water. I'm like, are you kidding? A boat went by when, and I missed it. So I guess they come up and down, but you can see the wake and everything, and it's kind of neat. All this has been built up. Flamingo land. This came from Florida, so flamingos are part of our normal lexicon. A haircut, right? Like jet skis, or what's the jet ski, and I forget the other jet ski, and where they go. It's hard to see through the lens. And those other things where you sit down. We'll hop over and try to get it. Sorry. Wow, they're having like a race. Oh, be careful. Let's get close to that wall. So that's exciting, isn't it? Runners, wave runners. That's it. Thank you. Oh my God, the universe will give you the word if you can't think of it offhand. Some people are fed like super fast. But I'm like, what are those things? I can't believe I always forget the word wave runner. Jet ski is easy to remember. Here comes a smaller plane coming in really quick. You can't see it through the lens, but I saw that news about the Fairview, Oregon airplane crash. So I know some people over in Portland, kind of. I did know them. I used to be friends with people, but since my life was changed on a dime, like a lot of people sort of faded out of my life because of it. Let's see if they come back. Totally, the one thing, like if I moved away from Philly, the one thing I would miss would be the Riverwalk. And there's always like totally awesome people out here, because in general they are looking for a healthy pastime, even if it's just walking. You know, people come out, they're by the river, it's often more peaceful and quiet. There's always runners out here. Here comes a running group, it looks like. Group, they stick together here, right? Birds of a feather stick together, right? Isn't that neat? And it's so beautiful that it's, you know, you almost like have to wait all day just to come at sunset, because of how beautiful it is at night. And then, you know, once the lights come on the bridges and everything, it's like really a spectacle, right? This is one of the best places in Philadelphia. I don't know that it's even on the usual tourist map or route. And I wish people could see this, more so than some of the other places that are on the route, which are kind of a waste to go to. So, but this would be what I would miss if I moved. And if I moved somewhere, I would want something similar. I'm torn just because of what began in 2011 was really bad. People should be ashamed of themselves for what they were willing to do, but there's nothing I can do about that other than I had to empower myself through my book. And I even went to a process group. I'm like, maybe if I go to a women's process group, no one there will be doing whatever it is. And it was pretty good for a while. People switched in and out, so like it wasn't always the same people. And then every once in a while, something would come up that would indicate like, okay, whatever it is, it's showing up with this person right now, and I don't know. So I would have to critically think like, is she conscious that she just said or did something that just played into a major like weird experience has been going on? It's hard to explain. You would know if you experienced it. You would, in my case, I feel like people slowly awakened me to certain things going on, and then they just turned my world upside down. Somebody went over the top with whatever it is, so leave it at that. But just know you're never alone, and by that I mean there's no privacy. So just forget about that. We all live in glass houses at this point. So not to scare people. For the most part, people don't pay attention. Most people don't do anything like that bad to be an issue, but I would just kind of in the back of your mind remember that there's always someone watching and listening. So so sorry about that. I know there's a kajillion people and you're like, well, how can that be? It's hard to explain, but anyway, I'll just leave it at that. Especially in a city, and because we're close to DC and New York, we're right in between, so Philly's like a serious hotspot for people who desperately needed to join the CIA or something. So, we'll head on this way. Never noticed there's like a trestle track thing at the top of that building, which is next to Giant. So anyway, and don't worry, people don't care about low-level pot situations or whatever. It's not, I don't know what to say. It's, we'll just sort of go about life knowing the walls have ears like 90% of the time. At least in major cities. So go try to live off the grid in Utah. That is so funny because, it's really hard to be off the grid in modern era, but I know what you mean. I went through a phase where I'm like, can I seek asylum in Canada? I laugh now, but at the time I was borderline serious. I was like, this is so bad. Like,